Hey everybody, this is Rocky, and welcome to another episode of Time of My Lifetime. Just a quick note before we start. I know it's been a very, very long time since we were last in your ear holes, but um, well, because to be honest, we all kind of maybe lost interest for a few years, but we're actually now in talks for maybe a reboot, which we hope all four of you who are listening will be excited about, and we're back really because we have an episode that's really special to us, that we all felt like we wanted to get out there. So about 2 years ago, I was back in DC for the holidays, and this was actually the episode we're about to premiere, I guess, was actually the last episode we ever recorded. And fun fact, a lot of the time we had a fourth person, a very close, dear friend to all three of us, Mr. Russell Bryan, he would often watch the movies with us and make the funniest jokes, and then would just run away as soon as my laptop came out because he was nervous about recording or whatever, which is insane. Because as you're about to learn, he's extremely funny, and so we were very, very excited when we finally plied him with enough alcohol to stick around and make an episode with us. So that's the episode that you're about to hear. Sadly, which is an understatement, on October 15th, 2018, Russ passed away after a long and very hard fought battle with cancer. And there's not really a whole lot more to say about that other than, cancer really fucking sucks. But there are a lot of folks out there who miss him a whole lot and are still, trying to figure out a way forward in a post-Russ world. Because Russ was the best. He was the best friend and son and brother, and he loved his wife and his little baby son to, to a degree that words, simply, can't express. So, managing this pain and navigating this new landscape has made the last couple of months really tough and sucky, and so we were really, really happy when we remembered we had recorded an hour of Russ at his tipsy, raunchy, curmudgeonly best, and so we're really psyched to share this with all of you and to honor his memory with this movie about Tori Spelling as a college prostitute. So if you didn't know him, I'm sure you will love him by the end, and if you did, you probably miss him every second of every day like us. So hopefully this brings a little bit of comfort this holiday season. So I guess that's it. Thank you so much for listening. We love all of you, all tens of our subscribers, and Russ, we love you. And hopefully we'll be back soon. So now enjoy Co-Ed Call Girl, starring the incomparable Tori Spelling, and our new theme song. Of course, I go and record a new theme song right before we decide we're not going to do this anymore. So, but whatever. Anyway, enjoy, have fun. We love you. Happy holidays. Bye. All right, here we go. 1, a 2, a 1, 2. Time of my lifetime. Oh my goodness gracious, we're back, everyone. We're back. It's so exciting. Time of my lifetime. I'm here with my wonderful two co-hosts. We're back. In the words of Sheree Whitfield, don't call it a comeback, call it a takeover.
I'm here with my wonderful two friends. I'm here with... my name is Rocky, by the way. Hi. And I'm here with Mr. Jordan W.
Thanks, Rocky.
And I'm here with the beautiful Jules M. You have to speak up.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
First of all...
Yes.
Just as a quick... We haven't done this in,
some time.
months and months and months. Wonderful new song. I know we used to open our episodes with whatever I could find on Spotify that was identical or as close to identical as the name of the movie we watched. Sometimes it was harder than other times, but this song is... As soon as you recorded it, I was just like, well, we have to make an episode immediately just so we can play this. So thank you for creating that.
Well, you are more than welcome, Jordan. That's one of the reasons why I made it, because I wanted to sort of spur our creativity, and I knew I was going to be in town. This is the first time the three of us have been recording in the same room in 2 years. It's very exciting.
That's true.
Yes.
That is true. Wow,
Right? Yeah.
You've been in Minnesota for 2 years?
2 years and some change, yeah.
All of our podcasts have been recorded over Skype.
Yes. And they don't sound very good.
No. They sound fine. One day we'll get serious and move this off of YouTube, and we'll get microphones.
Sure.
I just think it's funny to talk to an audience that doesn't exist.
But they do exist and they will exist. You have to be optimistic.
I just think it's really funny. You guys are really turning it on.
I disagree.
And I'm also just sitting looking at you, wondering what you're thinking.
I disagree. We have, if you add up all of our videos together, we have literally thousands and thousands of views now.
And we have people in New Zealand and Austria who have...
Anyone commenting?
Yes. We have at least 3 comments.
Yes, we do. We have tens of listeners. And I will thank you not to insult them.
But do you know, have you done the analytics? Do you know when they stop listening?
No.
They've accidentally Googled something and found
Hey, listen, you social media director, boss lady. It's not about that. It's about the joy and the laughter that we bring to the world.
I know it's not about that. So why can't we just talk instead of pretending like there's an audience?
Well, good, excellent question. Hey, aside...
Because I get self-conscious when I'm like, you guys are talking to the audience, and then I just start to get nervous.
Yeah, my hands are kind of itching right now.
We haven't
You're
introduced
happening.
you.
Oh yeah,
So
sorry.
then I'm just not. Just take out the audience and just talk and have fun, and then we can relax.
We're about to, but we have to do one slightly weird thing before we do that, which
What
is
do we do?
well
What do we have to do?
Introduce Russ?
aside from the brand new song, which is the first ever for the time of my
No, the
lifetime.
song is tremendous.
The song,
Thank
right?
you.
The song is.
This song is so good. I'd love to hear it again.
Me too.
Well,
Right now.
no.
Well, aside from the song being brand new, for the first time ever, we also have, I think the first time ever, we have a guest.
Not true. This is the second time, because we had Melina and Maureen that one week that you were in
fine.
Seattle.
That's right.
Also, I thought Russ was on this once before.
No,
You just watched a thing?
he watched a thing and then got scared and ran out of the apartment.
Yes,
before
we have
started
watched.
recording.
We have watched many movies with you, but you haven't actually sat in on anything.
But we
with
should
us.
introduce him.
So
He's our wonderful good friend that we love very, very much. He's very funny. The man with 3 first names, Russell Michael Bryan, born November 2nd,
1981.
what was your social security number again?
2243.
555.
8822. Thanks for having me, everybody.
Well, you are. We are so happy to have you, Russell. Welcome to Time of My Lifetime.
Russ,
Glad to be here.
real quick, because I don't know that we've ever discussed this, and I am curious. So, we've talked about it on the podcast before, but I know Jules, Rocky, and myself, when we were all younger, right, like high school, maybe probably middle school, we all liked Lifetime movies. And I know that in the last couple of years, you and me have watched a bunch together. Rocky and Jules Rocky before you moved to Minnesota, but like, were you into these when you were younger also? Because I don't remember ever talking to you about this when we were like younger.
I don't think I've ever watched a Lifetime movie until we started watching them.
Really?
In the last couple years. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
New to the genre.
Most young
but appreciative.
men did not watch them.
I
never had a cable going,
young,
so that was
the
okay.
main
Well, but the
thing.
thing is, a lot of these were made for TV, like on NBC or ABC. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
All right
then.
Yeah.
Now that we got that out of the way, thank goodness.
Scene.
I could tell you were getting nervous because you're like, he was asking a real question. You know what I mean?
Oh, I was trying to
Am
have a
I on the
conversation.
jury?
No, I was.
The witness stand right now?
No.
You guys think that you're acting normal, but you're not.
No, I'm not acting normal.
No. I don't know.
I'm perfectly comfortable.
Yeah, I was just trying to. I was just asking I think a fair question
It is a fair question.
because
It's the only question.
well, because
Yeah.
we've talked
To
about
begin
it,
with.
right? So I don't know. Whatever.
Well, should we talk about this wonderful movie that we just watched?
I do love Tori Spelling, though. Watch
Oh.
90210, so
Okay.
I'm familiar
Her oeuvre.
Spoiler alert,
Okay.
Russ. Jesus.
with... Sorry.
No.
I'm familiar with her work.
So you watch like 90210 and
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually always found her strangely attractive. I
Tori's-
know we'll probably get into that at some point. But like while you were dismissing her looks, I was kind of enjoying them throughout this movie.
You said you look like the dungeon master from Princess Bride.
It does. This whole entire movie, I'm like, the further and further along it gets, the more I'm like, she looks like the guy who tortures the man in black in Princess Bride.
You're so mean.
I disagree.
That's mean. It's
think
not
I just-
nice.
She wears a lot of eyeshadow and eye makeup.
lot
Well,
of makeup.
after the
You don't know what she really
after
looks
the
like,
makeover,
right? You don't
when
know what she
cuts her
looks like.
hair.
And the intense blonde hair that is
Yeah.
basically the color of her skin.
Yeah.
It's
She's-
a little intense.
And then when she
Right.
like cuts it into that Liz Taylor White Diamonds bob, it's a little severe. It ages her 20 years. It's just not a good look for her.
I guess like I came of an age, like 90210 was on when I was 14, so I thought every girl was so hot. Like they were on TV, I was in love with them. So it's like Brenda, whatever Tori Spelling's name was on 90210. Donna. Kelly, yeah. Just
Yeah, I
mega
mean-
babes. All of them.
That's
they were.
All right.
Yeah.
Tori Spelling, though, I don't know. She didn't look like she belonged in that crowd. And she didn't. She was only put there because her father, like...
I mean, I was gonna
I
say.
always said that. But I don't know.
Well, if you
Maybe I was
want,
like
if
really
you
bored.
want
She's a very good
to,
actress.
if you want to talk, yes, if you want to just talk about her acting ability, she's not good.
She's not.
And when I watch her in this movie, I realize just how bad she is because the other actors are just like
Dynamite.
Well, it's just.
they are running laps, like they are just like running laps.
Well, it's
around
just
her.
like
It's just crazy.
like this is why people go to school for acting.
Or why some people just have an innate talent for it, and
Yeah.
others do not.
Do not.
And I'm afraid, like I know she's trying, but it is not good.
She's really bad.
It's like watching House Hunters.
And I guess we...
So which house should we pick? I don't know. This
You're
is
like,
such a
I don't
tough
know, because
decision.
none of them have anything you want. You all like
They're all over budget.
And they're
all
all
over
and,
budget.
they're all
They're all-
painted the wrong color.
They're all in the wrong neighborhood.
exactly.
None of them
Changing
have.
paint. We know. is
None of them
such
have
a-
crown molding or an open concept.
No. They don't have the pool. They don't. Yeah, it's just you can't please these people.
So, just real quick for the people listening, we did watch the movie tonight was Co-Ed Call Girl, starring, of course, the aforementioned Tori Spelling.
In
and
1996.
96. Was there anybody else that we know from this movie?
Yes.
The guy from Seventh Heaven.
Yeah, the older son from Seventh Heaven
Okay.
with the hair.
What's his name?
I don't
You
know.
call him out at the beginning of the show, like, oh, him?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
We
know
know
he
him
was
as
from.
his
Okay, so we know him from
And
Seventh
I
Heaven.
actually
I know what
think
it-
of
And I'm sorry, and Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9 from Star Trek
Oh yes.
Voyager?
Voyager, yeah.
Was she also on Baywatch?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Jerry Ryan did like a lot of TV in like the mid to late 90s, but I can't really think of anything else she's really in.
She was like married to like a senator or something, and then divorced him, and it was like some sort of like sex scandal. Like she accused him of
What?
rape or beating her
Oh my
or
God.
something like that.
So that's what she's been up to.
Oh. She also disappears,
Amazing you know about her.
Well,
She disappears, like
it is DC. We're politically connected.
That's true. She disappears, like 2/3 of the way through this movie?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the bath. I believe the bubble bath scene is
I think it is her last
scene.
scene. So this movie is a very quick synopsis. Just
Yes, please, by all means.
my opinion of it. The first 2/3 of it are about Tori Spelling needing money, kind of, but we're
Yes.
not really sure. And so she becomes a call girl. And
Well, Tori Spelling is a college student. She works with her mother at the Backdoor bakery. And they don't have a lot of money because Tori's father died when she was like 8 or something.
Yeah.
in one of my which is mentioned in basically one of my favorite lines from any movie we've watched ever.
Oh, and her name is Joanna. That's very important because
But
they
you will
say
not
it.
forget it. They say
it 10
over
times
and
in every
over
scene.
and over again.
So she is poor, and all of her friends
They're not that
want to.
poor. They're not poor, though.
She's just a nerd.
Her mother.
Yeah.
She's like
She's
a
a
mama's
bookworm.
girl, nerd.
Well,
So
but they
mommy
invite her to
pleaser.
go skiing, and she's like, I don't have enough money to go skiing.
Well, she's got to work at the bakery, and
Yeah, she's helping her mom at the Backdoor bakery.
She
And
seems
so then-
normal enough, but everyone hates on her for some reason.
Because she's nerdy. That's why everyone hates on her, not because she's poor. Her being poor is just incidental.
Yeah.
Everyone hates on her because she's a nerd.
Yeah, she
And
never
so
wants to do
she's-
anything fun.
Yeah, she's
so-
a downer.
Yeah,
She
so,
likes
like,
to
she's a wet blanket.
study, and like she hates goofs.
You guys, I have my
She
chemistry
does. She
file.
does. She does hate goofs. Yes.
She is not a goof, nor does she appreciate being goofed upon.
Well, you
Yes.
hate goofs too.
No, I hate pranks.
Yes. As mentioned in previous podcasts, Jules hates pranks. Yes.
No, goofs. I
Oh,
am
goofs are fine.
completely okay with. It's a prank
But-
that I will say, see you later.
Would you say that you were in the goof troop?
I did watch that show.
Did you?
A little bit.
I never watched it.
But 2/3 of the way through the movie, it turns into a really bad courtroom drama.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So, quick synopsis.
Such a surprise.
So-
that I wasn't
Like
there.
they're
a really
hanging out
bad-
with
like
they're hanging out with her roommate Amanda and Amanda's friends, and they find an ad for an escort service in the back of like a newspaper, and one of the friends like
A
calls
full
it
page
up.
ad. It's a full page ad.
Well, it's like a quarter page.
But black and white ad, so
Yeah.
they didn't spring.
They didn't spend a lot of money.
It's 1996. There's no color.
So they
printing
call
back
the
then.
escort service and they're like, "Hi, my name's Joanna and I want to be a prostitute. Bye." And so-
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, and so then they call her back.
But also, she did not appreciate that.
No,
Joanna
she didn't.
did
And
not
like,
find that funny.
and it's like, Amanda, what's wrong with your roommate? God. And so then they call back and they're like, we heard you would like to be a prostitute. And she was like, I don't know. And they're like, come to the party. And so she goes to the party and she decides.
By the way,
after
this is
all,
not
she
a
would
quick synopsis.
like- Shut up. That she would like to be a prostitute. So then she's a prostitute and she's enjoying it very much. And then
and she's not enjoying it.
and then she's not enjoying it very much because she has to fuck some dude that she doesn't want to fuck. And then her pimp manipulates her into staying with the escort service. And then he tries to rape her and she shoots him. And then it becomes, as you said, an aforementioned courtroom.
The last
Now
30
let me
minutes.
tell my synopsis of this.
Please do.
Please, absolutely.
No, I'm just kidding. Since you each give your own synopsis, I could still see
Well,
the
I
details.
just piggybacked off of him.
Well, I guess for me, so I
No,
watched.
no,
I watched this a couple weeks ago before you guys did, and we all watched it together just now. But when I watched it by myself, that was the thing for me that was like so weird. I guess is like the first 60 minutes was just like, okay, so this is just like a movie about like how it's all glamour, like glitz and glamour, and then
Until it's not.
until
Or
it's
how you
not
manipulate a woman, to like go into this underworld.
exactly.
Right.
And I was
It's
like,
not
okay,
about that.
no,
Well, it is.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, I get it.
Half of it.
I get it. And then again, 2/3 of the way through the movie, she like tries not. I guess she shoots her pimp like in the back, and in the last 30 minutes are like this really shitty courtroom drama, like
I
out
thought-
of left field, and
Yeah.
and I was just like, what the fuck just happened?
I don't know why they just didn't take. I don't know why the climax wasn't like a confrontation with the pimp, or just things kept getting increasingly scary. And then just like that movie we watched, where Tori Spelling escapes on the canoe and jumps in the water.
Yeah.
Mother may sleep with danger.
Mother may sleep with danger. Just how she like escapes that situation. Another single mother coming to her rescue. I thought her mom would just like be picking up more on the things and then the clues, and then she would come in and save the day.
Her mother was pretty clueless.
I was kind of hoping things got worse for her. Like, it never really, like, hit rock bottom, right? I mean...
Yeah, that's true.
She slept with a couple, like, kind of glamorous
Well, when she went
guys.
to the motel, that was kind of rough.
Yeah, that's just opening the door and then running away.
Yeah, she didn't fuck that guy.
Yeah, she didn't
It
say.
really wasn't too bad, so...
You're right. So you wanted to see her really just, like, start, like, shooting up.
I think it was maybe her
losing
acting, like, they want to go there because she couldn't handle
No.
the dramatic acting that would take.
I think
maybe.
you're-
Fair enough.
I think
That
that's
is a really good point.
very...
But to then shift it to a courtroom drama where she's put on the stand and like
Right.
has to go through this stressful process of being questioned. That doesn't seem. I don't know. That
Yeah.
also wasn't worth.
Wasn't in her wheelhouse.
No.
It also required some chops that weren't there.
And my law degree is from the My Cousin Vinny School of Law, so I kind of know what I'm talking about here.
That's interesting. I went to SVU.
Everything about that courtroom scene and the events immediately leading up to it were so terrible and nonsensical. Her lawyer wants to plead her innocent, which isn't a thing, and then he tries to, and then halfway through the trial, he changes her plea from innocent to not guilty by self-defense, which you can't do that halfway through a trial. He would have been.
Well, it wasn't halfway
It was
through the
like
trial.
the
It was at the
beginning.
beginning of the trial.
Well, we don't know. There's only 2 witnesses called.
Her and him.
Her and her pimp. I mean, where is Jury Ryan right now?
I
Like,
don't know.
call any.
I don't know. That was really weird that she was not there at the trial.
I know.
It-
It's just like it seemed like when things started to escalate with Pimp, Jerry was just out of there.
What's the pimp? What was that guy's name? I don't
Ron.
remember.
Ron.
Ron. That's
Ron Lambert or something like that.
No, she was
Her name
Lambert.
was
She-
Amber.
Oh, she was-
Hambert. Hambert?
Ron
Joanna Hambert. Lambert?
Lambert.
Lambert.
Joanna Cambert. Cambert. They said her name, they said her first name like so many times.
Halpert.
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 Thank you.
Oh,
Good
that's right, because the whole
job.
time I was thinking Jim
and, like,
Halpert.
something
Yeah.
sounds
That's
wrong
right.
with
Yes.
what I'm saying. Halpert.
Jules, I feel like you asked something like 3/4 of the way through the movie when I was like, that's a really good question. And what was it? I think you were like, why is
was
she...
I questioning why she decided to
I think you were...
continue with the prostitution?
I think so. I think you were like... I think
Why
you were
did she
like,
ever
why
be a
is she...
prostitute at the beginning?
Yeah, why is she
Yeah.
doing
She's a
I don't know
successful
why.
medical student.
Which is a great question
Well-
because I don't know.
Well, one, I didn't feel like I just didn't understand why she went to prostitution so easily. And then when she, I don't think that was what I was asking.
As a viewer, though, you have to like make the connection between not having a father from the age of 8 to like
Which she
needing-
reminds her mother of in the most savage
Right.
fucking way. Like, that was so crazy.
I think that's like always on the front of her mind, which is why it came out in that fashion. But they don't really build that up much in terms
Not
of
enough.
in her backstory. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like the backstory was built up enough.
So,
or
was this
enough
based
time was
on...
spent on like how nerdy she was or how shitty she felt.
Because like guys are digging her, you know, like
Immediately,
Yeah.
Jack.
it's like
Jack,
Love.
Jack,
it's like-
love her.
what's that movie where
You're
well,
right.
it's a classic movie like She's All That, where like the girl's like in overalls and she has glasses and her hair's up. And
She's got a
everyone's
ponytail.
Yeah, everyone's like, ew, you're disgusting. Get
You
her
like
out
to
of
do
here.
art?
And, like, no,
That's
no
so
one, like, why does she talk
weird.
or look at this person, and then all of a sudden, like, she takes her glasses off and like puts on a dress and like puts her hair down, and everyone's like, ooh. And everyone loves
Yeah,
it.
but Seventh Heaven guy is into her like at the almost the very beginning of the movie.
Excuse me, can you please refer to him by his name?
I don't.
We don't know.
Oh, Jack.
Oh, Jack.
Jack.
If I was an actor, I would use that all the time. That would be like in my wheelhouse for sure of things I do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
if
What
you-
was his name? Oh, yes. Jack.
Always. It's such a good technique. I love it.
It's that Ron guy been in any other Lifetime movies? Because he's
I don't think he's
spectacular.
he's very handsome.
So good.
Yeah.
He's good looking. Like he just like commanded every scene he was
I
in.
completely agree.
But I've never seen him before.
That guy was a ham. I mean,
He
He was
wonderful.
eating
But, like-
the scenery up, but it was
That's what I'm saying.
wonderful
when
to watch
Tori
him eat.
Spelling was put against that
Yes.
incredible of an actor. Her ineptitude, that's
Yeah,
the word.
exactly
Yeah,
what it is.
Ineptitude, just was so obvious, I felt.
Yeah.
I agree.
He was wonderful. We
He
should
was
really get
brilliant.
his name.
He really. Oh,
Where
yeah.
is he now?
IMDb.
I'll look it up. But someone, I don't remember who said it, like, in the middle of the movie, it was just like, I think it was Jules, I think it was you, when you were just like, wow, it's, even against these, like, B-list actors, like, it's really easy to see how terrible Tori Spelling is as an actress. She's terrible.
So now,
Well,
was this
He's trying, I
story
just don't think it's
based
working.
on true events?
Okay,
I
so
didn't see
Or did
that.
this actually, this just come out of, like, some screenwriter's brain?
as you may or may not know, when we do these, I like to look them up and see if there's any history behind it. So I've got some knowledge. I couldn't find anything on this. I don't think this is based on anything. But Rocky,
Yes.
this happens every day.
This is true. This is true.
Um,
Turn on MSNBC at 4 o'clock on a Saturday.
I mean,
afternoon.
the lamestream media isn't reporting on it. But as far as I know, this isn't an actual, like, quote-unquote true story, but I could see this being, like, someone's actual... I mean, think about it, like, so she got into it thinking it was going to be, like, this high-class thing, and it was at first, and it's sort of like she goes down the path
Scott
where
Plank.
Yeah.
eventually it's just, you know, turns into, like, oh, I'm really just a prostitute.
We're recording.
The guy's name is Scott Plank, and he is
Scott Plank.
yeah, he's prolific. We should know more about him because
Oh my god, look
like
how loose
he's been in everything.
What else has he been in?
Like ER.
Wow.
Well, he
Like,
didn't have
was like
a
an entire
part on
he was like
it.
an entire season of like
CSI Crimes,
CSI.
NYPD Blue,
Baywatch.
Division.
He was Sam Parks on Baywatch for an entire season.
The
Wow.
Sam Parks.
Yes. NYPD Blue.
Wow.
Who knew?
Yeah.
You're right.
What,
Charmed, Melrose
I mean,
Place.
what is his most recent?
The list goes on and on and on.
It just 2005.
God, he was fantastic.
What awards has he won?
Ron James.
Did he win anything for Baywatch?
Looks like 2005 is his last hurrah.
Oh my, you guys, he died.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
He died in 2002.
Well, that
Wait,
explains why he has
well
no
then
new
how was he in
credits.
something in
I don't know what
2005
show that was. They already filmed his part.
and released it 3 years later?
It's funny because you know how at the Emmys they always do like the in memoriam. I didn't see him this year.
Well, this is 10 years ago.
I didn't see him 10 years ago.
Oh my God, Jordan!
He was in Guns Before Butter in 2005.
Guns
Before Butter in 2005.
What do you think that's about?
Yeah, he was Teddy in Guns Before Butter.
Like,
I
you
don't
had
know.
to choose the street life versus the sweet life.
Pretty good.
Well, you rest in peace, Scott Plank. You did wonderful work while you were with us,
He was.
and we should rent
I'm glad you
Guns
like gave him
Before
good-
Butter.
I will absolutely. I'll watch the shit out of Guns Before Butter.
He was so talented.
He was good in this movie.
Yes, he was. I'm not being facetious.
I know
in
we've
any
already
way.
alluded to it, but I have a couple of favorite lines in this movie. One of
Yes.
them is when she's trying to quit the prostitute game, and he's like, oh, it's because of a boyfriend. He goes, oh, what's your boyfriend's name? And she goes, Jack. And he goes, and then he goes, Jack.
Oh yes.
And that's we've already said it a couple times, but
That's the best.
that is one of the best line. The way he's good. He's a
Well, and that crazy scene where she gives her mom like she goes out and buys her like a fancy scarf, and what
Oh
was
yes,
the
there's an Isadora Duncan reference.
Yeah.
With the scarf, which I made a reference to that just hours before coming over here.
so what she was like a dancer? or
Yeah,
something?
she was a early modern dancer in like the 1920s, and I think she she was like riding in a convertible or something, and there was a car accident. Anyway, she was like strangled by her own scarf.
That's a real thing that happened?
And so Tori Spelling like gives her the scarf, and it's like, it's very...
long white scarf.
Isadora Duncan-like.
Yes! I couldn't believe
Like,
that
that's-
reference.
But that's a weird thing to say.
That is a very weird, especially if she was strangled to death by a scarf.
Yeah, and today when I was getting out of the car, I slammed the car door, and my scarf was caught, and it choked me as I ran away and I walked away. Because that takes talent to do that to yourself.
That's such a weird coincidence.
Yeah, it's just funny.
Anyway.
The universe is a funny place. But
The
then...
universe!
But then she's like... You know, the mom's like, oh, you should return this. You need to be more responsible for your money, yada, yada, yada. And she was like, oh, is this because my father died when I was 8 and I was raised by a single mother? And then storms out of the house. And it's just...
It was very out of
What?
left field, that line.
0 to 60.
It was just savage as
It was
fuck.
very
Like,
savage.
Yes. I think it was just like, I think her mother, or she was like, I'll never be like you because I'll never get married and have my husband die. Leaving our 3-year-old baby to be raised alone by a single parent, only to later grow up by herself, having to resort to prostitution, just like me now. It was very...
so enjoy the scar.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah, it was definitely went in a different direction.
Yes.
Like the usual story, she would have been, like her mother would have gotten pregnant with her as like a teenager and struggled and had to give up her own dreams. That's like would have, but so this with the father dying was like, wow, you still have all that anger because of that event that your mom couldn't control.
And
Yeah,
Russ,
maybe
were you were saying you think that's what led her down this path of just being a call girl, or?
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to maybe hint at.
Yes. I believe so.
implicitly. Yeah.
Because also when she's finally caught being a co-girl.
A co-girl,
Is it
a
a girl?
car.
There needed to be more cocaine involved in all of this, right? 'Cause,
Yeah,
like that,
totally.
like
Yeah.
you got to get them hooked on something.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't you
Either
think
like
it would've been
violence, like you need to like
relax?
smack her around more or
Yeah.
something. Like she was like, it was fine.
And I think that's what
She went out with like
I
5 guys.
think, yeah.
Didn't have sex with all of them.
Right, and she was given like primo treatment. Like she was.
She's the only person that works at this fucking place.
She was the only
The only
prostitute
Yeah.
other than Jerry Ryan.
Well,
Right.
And Jerry Ryan didn't seem to go out on any calls
I don't
or
think
anything.
Jerry Ryan, I'm pretty sure, was not a prostitute. She
No,
was
she
she
said
was like
something
the
about
right hand.
knowing.
Yeah, she was a
She was like
recruiter.
her
She was
HR.
she was
Yeah.
HR.
She was a headhunter.
She was HR at the startup. At the startup call girl.
Because it really did seem like a
It was a
startup.
startup. They took it out on the paper. They're like, yeah, we're looking for some girls. We got a place on Malibu, PCH.
They had
And Tori Spelling showed up. Or excuse me, Joanna
Joanna
showed up,
Joanna.
and they were
Jojo.
like,
Joanna.
because like when she decided like she wasn't down like DTF, then like why wouldn't they just send another girl? There
Right.
were no other girls.
Because there were no other
because
girls.
there were no other
Exactly.
girls. There were no
Why
other
would-
girls. He was just like, Joanna, you better get your ass back out there. I literally have no one. Hey, Jerry Ryan, you want to go? No, I'm fucking HR.
I'm busy.
I don't do that
I got
shit.
my work cut out for me.
Yeah, it's a.
Bills in the pipe,
it-
right?
It definitely was a pretty low rent
It
operation.
was quite ramshackle.
It couldn't have been that low rent though, because he had that fancy ass house and.
Well, I think that's
It's
because
now
of his
right on the
family
beach.
restaurant money.
Yeah.
So she
I
went
love
out.
that he referred to his family restaurant, which is a strip club
A triple
that
X strip
serves
club.
wings.
And steak, probably.
Yeah, they probably had a lunch buffet.
So, but here's
Chicken
all of her
fingers.
experience, right? She went out with one guy that was kind of like the setup guy. He just said, "All right, good night, thanks for a good time."
Yeah.
Then she got to sleep with her like idol.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds great.
And it looked like it was good. And
Yeah,
that's
oh,
fine,
yeah.
right?
She was
They were in
it.
a jacuzzi, and then they sat in sheets and
Yeah.
candles.
Yeah. She's
Right,
wearing a
she was
very-
staring at the bookie sign,
Yeah.
like in her classes. Like
Oh yeah.
that's like one of her top 5 moments of her life, you know?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was in her
Yeah.
top 5, and she
Yeah.
actually got to fuck him.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't
then she has to
happen
sleep
to
with
me.
some like. Then she has the one bad guy, right? Like
Right.
the weird.
Yeah.
He's still like wealthy and had a nice party and whatnot.
There
and
was
then
also
there's the guy that she didn't have to sleep with.
the-
She just pretended like she did and left.
the conductor.
And then she had to strip once. That's her entire experience.
Well, from what we've seen on camera.
I don't know. I don't know if that's...
journey.
I don't know if that's
Exactly,
the case.
Here's the thing. During the courtroom drama part of this movie, they ask how long she worked there, and Ron says 6 months.
Yeah.
There's no way she only banged 3 guys in 6 months.
Well, because that beeper was going off constantly.
Constantly. Yeah.
It just was a slippery slope, at first. It's like, this is cool. I can just accompany lonely men's, and, like, we can have a good time, and they can make me feel beautiful. And then, it's a hand
And then
job.
we can go to, like, the club, and I can mom dance.
Oh, yeah, that dancing.
Oh, her
was
dancing
really good.
was...
Her dancing was so...
We need to put a GIF of that up on our fake website.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, we have to do that.
I was also surprised at how quickly she loosened up. Like, she seemed so socially awkward and, like, nerdy at school, but then as soon as, like, she got with these guys, she was, like, I guess she was feeling herself in those new clothes.
Yeah, probably.
Those heels.
She
That
definitely banged more than 3
collared
guys,
dress.
though.
Giant hair.
New haircut.
I mean, like, if it only, like, how many unattractive women would you sleep with to sleep with Selma Hayek for one night?
Are you asking me that question?
Yeah,
Oh, like thousands.
Exactly.
You were saying so her
So,
accidental foray into sex work that she wasn't comfortable is justified by the fact that she got to. But here's
She got to sleep with, like, her number one.
okay,
Yeah.
but here's
So
the
then
thing.
Why would she stop after
Wait, but
that?
here's the thing with that number one. Did he? I was unclear. Did he go through the escort service because she was just a fan and he clearly took a liking to her?
No, because Jerry Ryan, like, introduced them.
Yeah.
Like,
That was a setup.
he was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, it was a setup.
Yeah, it was a
yeah,
setup.
they
Sorry,
went to his
there are
book
parts of this
signing.
movie that I
yeah.
just stopped paying attention.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, there
I
were some
wasn't aware.
technical difficulties with
It was...
the
yeah.
Some
with
nuance
the
was lost
stream,
in the.
yeah.
It was that was a
quality.
setup.
yeah, it's like they went to the book signing.
Because that was part of their. I thought that was like it was part of their shopping
Well, I don't know if
day.
it was a
So I thought
setup-
they ran into him because like.
I'm walking on the.
I don't know if it was a setup as much as the first guy was absolutely a setup, where it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, oh, go out with this guy. He just wants to take you out to dinner, and then
That's
you just
all
get
he
to.
wants.
That's all he wants.
This
And then
is
you get
what
to
it's
go
like.
home.
Yeah.
Here's $400. Isn't this easy?
Yeah, total scam. That's how they get you. That's how
Yeah.
they got me.
Oh, Jordan, tell your story.
It didn't make sense either why she was, like, I guess they kind of talked a little bit, but why she was so hidden about not shooting the guy in the beginning.
Yeah, that was weird to me too. I guess
Oh.
she's such a mommy pleaser.
Well, this is what I said. The whole courtroom part of this made absolutely
Yeah.
no sense. I
But
mean,
it was so annoying. I was like, you were there. It was self-defense. Why are you lying about it?
there's evidence all over the
So
place.
much
all
evidence.
over.
All over the place. And it's just like
He grabbed your scarf on his way down to the ground.
I thought he was
At
going
the
to
house.
choke her and
Yeah.
then Isadora.
She should have called the cops and been like, "This guy just tried to rape and kill me. I shot him. Come here." And instead, she was
And
like,
he's also a pimp, so you can.
"Right."
I mean, it's
Right.
not as if,
Taxes.
like, the police are like, oh, you were raped? Oh, well, then let's, like, take good care of you. But at least,
That's
like,
very true.
yeah, but
Yeah.
at least, like, the truth would have been out there.
It made absolutely. I mean, the last 25 minutes of this movie made absolutely
Well,
no
I think
sense.
she was just so ashamed, and it's also been set up that she's like has to please her mother.
Right.
Yeah.
She is obsessed with pleasing her mother, and I think she didn't want to disappoint her anymore.
Well, I think it's
by
a question.
having shot a man.
I think it's the question you asked like 2/3 of the way through the movie, which is just like, why is she doing this and why doesn't she stop? Because it's not like
There was also no end goal. It wasn't like there was something like,
right.
I need like to raise this money, or else I'm not going to get into med school,
Right.
or something. Like,
or,
there
like, I
wasn't-
have a tuition bill I need to pay.
Yeah, like
or
that would have
whatever.
been more
Yeah.
realistic to
Or
me.
I'm going to get
that's
kicked out of college.
Because it's like a real talk. It's financial and it's your future, and you're
Mhm.
gonna like put it on the line. So it was just it was kind of shitty. It was shitty that they just were like, she just has daddy issues, and like she just needs
That was even played
she
up,
just
though.
needs
Yeah.
Yeah.
approval from men. Well, that's what she said to her mom, and her
Yeah.
mom's like, "Why did you do it?" She's like, "I just needed."
He
like,
made me feel
he made
special.
Me feel special.
He made me
and
feel beautiful.
And that's like the daddy issue thing right
Mhm.
there, and it's just like that's so fucking weak.
But
And
the
I
guy
don't know
from Seventh
why, I
Heaven
don't
was
know why I
doing
needed
that.
Yeah, exactly.
I
She
know
was
that
doing
that was an incredible shot when she's that was on the stand, right, where she said, what was the shot where she's like,
When she's just
Oh,
like, I just wanted someone
no,
to.
she's like, he was so like the pimp. She's like, when I first met him, he was so smart and handsome, and sophisticated. I'd never met anyone like that before. And then it's a shot to the boyfriend.
That was so shady.
Yeah.
So shady. The boyfriend.
Shady.
Yeah.
Who's
That
like
was
going to be a
boyfriend is,
successful
like, no
lawyer.
slouch.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, he's
Like
gonna
going to
be-
Harvard or something.
Exactly. He's like,
Exactly.
you know, I'm top 2% of my LSATs, right?
Yeah, we
like,
heard about LSAT so many times.
But
and,
I'm
like,
sorry, you guys. Maybe this is a controversial opinion, but when you put Jack up against
Jack.
Jack,
Wait,
Jack,
wait, what are you talking about?
Jack.
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 Oh, God.
when you put him up
Watch
against
that
the
over and over
pimp,
again.
like, I'm sorry, it's no contest in the looks department or the charm
No,
department.
you're absolutely right.
I'm confused.
Like-
You're
Wait,
saying
wait,
that the
wait.
pimp wins?
Who wins?
The pimp.
We all agree that Ron
That
is...
Ron is
I mean,
super attractive
He's got a
and
big
charming.
fancy house.
Yeah, he lives in Malibu.
I mean, granted, yes, he's a pimp and he's emotionally and abusive.
You have to walk
Emotionally
on a tennis court
abusive
to
and
get to his
physically.
Yeah.
You know, right? He sends you in limos everywhere.
No, he's next level, and she's just from Tarzana. So, like, I don't
Is that a real place?
Yes,
Tarzana?
yes.
Oh.
It's in
What?
California.
Yeah.
And
I
I
thought
don't
they
even
made that
think
up.
she, like, has seen the beach before.
Here's the thing. Yes,
I think
here's the
I
thing.
think she's been working at Backdoor Bakery since she could crawl, and she has had no time between school and
I want to eat
Backdoor.
those buns. At the
So,
Backdoor
in
Bakery.
by some argument, she's always been a prostitute to her mother.
Oh,
What?
profound.
She's always been just slaving away, probably for low to no wages at the bakery.
Not sexually.
I didn't. I said by some measure.
Okay.
Because I agree. I don't think she had seen the beach, and they live on the fucking coast.
Hold on.
She did seem quite
Let me
mystified,
just
but
look up where Tarzana is in the state real quick, because
Okay.
if it's like
is
on
it
the
in the
beach,
ballet?
probably.
Are there any like?
Well, should we talk about the fashions? Do you have opinions?
Oh yeah, it's highly possible that she's never seen the beach. Although it's right by Topanga State Park, so it's like a nice. Yeah, it's in the valley.
Mm.
It's next to Encino
Uh?
and right by Reseda.
You take the 405
Yeah.
down to I don't know.
To the 101.
Nothing really jumped out with
Lost what I
fashion
got.
with me besides
Yeah,
her
nothing
dressing like a whore.
Russ, we don't
I realize
record
it's
these very often,
complicated.
but we got to get you as a guest. I think.
Somebody.
No,
I was wondering like which one I found most sexy out of her dress.
Were any of them sexy to
The
you
white
boys
one.
at the
The white one was like kind of
a
cheesy
straight
looking
man?
a little bit.
It was cheesy, and you could, but
I'm not gonna.
She has great cleavage.
I'm not gonna
very prominent
lie.
throughout.
Yes.
I can't lie. The 1996 like geisha outfit,
Oh,
Yeah.
geisha. Like, I could see that being like pretty sexy in like '97. Before it was just like, why are you dressed like that?
I think I had a
I
shirt
think
like
that-
that, and I absolutely wore chopsticks.
She had fucking chopsticks in her hair.
I absolutely wore that like
White
insensitive outfit that like I probably got out of Delia's.
Oh,
Like,
girl.
I feel like Delia's was like really, hawking that kind of stuff.
Oh, it's like I mean, you can't get away with wearing that. No one, a Japanese woman can't get away with wearing that in 2016, almost 2017, let alone Tori Spelling. But I don't know. For this
She did look
movie,
great.
Well,
that
she
outfit.
wore
No, she
a
looked-
red,
I mean-
like,
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
That
her-
was so
oh.
weird.
scantily clad dress to her verdict.
She wore
It's like
Yeah.
the reading
the
of the
horse-
verdict.
horse
Like,
red.
yeah, it was like whore red. It
Yeah.
just,
Scarlet
it just
letter,
covered her
A on her
boobs.
chest.
Yep.
Yeah.
her fuck me
Yeah.
dress. I think you said her vagina was hanging out of it.
And
The one where she saw her professor.
Oh, that one was ridiculous.
Because she was clearly
with-
she looked like such a whore in that outfit.
with like a leopard print stole.
It was just so
Like,
it was just so short.
But nothing in the movie was like super like 90s. There wasn't like mom jeans.
Felt pretty
Well,
nice.
When she showed up to
Pretty
the
90s.
beach,
I mean,
Yes,
she
there
was
were.
like a
She was
flannel.
wearing
a lot of
jeans and, like,
flannels.
mom jeans and Doc Martens.
Yeah.
Like in flannels,
It
like
felt
when she
pretty
was in
nice.
nerdy mode.
It was like tasteful 90s. It looked good. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, this is why it's coming back because it's like pretty cool.
And like, but
like
that big
I was
90s
into
mom hair, I just can't get over that.
That was
Like
definitely
post
90s.
makeover.
The one
Yeah,
thing,
it's like a Julia
the one thing I
Roberts.
did not like about the movie, and it's not the fault of the movie, it's the stream is where just the audio cutting out in the shopping montage. Because I feel like there was probably like a really good song playing. Because up until that point, the soundtrack had been pretty spot on, I think.
Oh yeah, what was that song when she walked into the party
Too much
for the
sunshine.
Too much sunshine?
It was a good song. Probably
It sounded
original to
good.
the movie.
Yeah, it was recorded by like a reformed Los Angelian,
Like Corey Feldman.
just someone who's
And his
like
band.
over
Feldman.
over all the sunshine in LA.
It's too much sunshine.
Yeah,
Too
it's too much.
It was a good song.
Well, it's about
It's kind of a
putting on
braggy song, actually. I think
sunscreen.
it's someone who's actually very like pro LA and like stuck at East Coast.
Probably.
They're like, oh, we have too much sunshine. Dancing to that song.
So I don't know. I guess we can maybe wrap it up in some ways. I personally love this movie.
Yes.
I didn't ask it off the top. Did anybody see this like when it came out in '96 or '97? Because for me, it was the first
I don't
time
think so.
I'd seen
I
it.
don't think so. I don't have any memory of seeing this.
No.
No, me neither. But this is like on a lot of
It's
like
pretty good
the
ones.
best Lifetime movie lists that are out there. This is like top 5 like across the board,
Really?
and I read these all the time.
Excellent.
And I was actually kind of surprised because I'd heard of it, and up until recently,
The
it wasn't.
title, I feel like I've heard of the title.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe there are other co-ed call girls out there.
You know,
Oh,
it's
well,
sort of
those are
like Mother
like
May
they're
I Sleep
actual
with
porn?
Danger.
Those are in the part of the video store where you need an ID to get into.
Okay.
Well,
So,
But it's very sort of like Mother May I Sleep with Danger. Like, it just sounds familiar.
Yeah, right. But this one, up until because I had looked for this before, up until about a month ago, it wasn't available on YouTube. So I don't know if it got like into the public, whatever it's called, where things are okay to publish. The public domain. Thank you.
I don't think any of these movies are public domain.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of them are available on YouTube to stream.
Well, that doesn't mean it's not illegal.
I guess, but this
Yeah,
one you
it's
couldn't find
probably-
anywhere. Now there's like 5 different versions, not versions, but 5 different.
like happy birthdays in the public domain.
Well, now that those ladies died.
Not in Trump's America.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Whatever you want it to mean.
Okay. Up is down, left is right.
Do you want to do?
Exactly.
Do you want to do favorite characters?
Well, I think we all have the same favorite character.
Yeah.
Wait, do we?
Ron Flynn.
Ron.
Oh,
Oh. Well, who is your favorite
yeah,
character?
Russ. Do you have a favorite character in the movie?
I was kind of into Jerry Ryan's character.
Why?
Oh, the way she
Just because
woke
she's
up.
hot?
Yeah, the way she got out of
So,
bed, the way she got into the tubs. And like she's the one that really got Tori Spelling, pulled her in.
Yeah.
Like Ron was kind of like, I don't know. He was
No,
like the
you're
pimp.
right.
He was the pimp and a little bit,
No, I
but
think you're
Jerry
right.
Ryan was
Jerry
like
Ryan
the
was
more
she was the
compelling.
clutch.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They
Why
went
did she-
shopping together.
I don't understand why she disappeared. Like, because in the
she
court,
shared her clothes with her.
in the
Yeah, the
courtroom,
one that
She
she
was the
pours her-
girlfriend that she kind of wanted, like that she
yeah,
wasn't getting
that
from
she
her.
never had.
She-
She
college
pours
friend.
her a
From a roommate,
drink. She's
yeah.
like, you know,
She's
when
like,
I
no
don't
one's
like
gonna
them.
goof on you here. Don't worry, this is a goof.
Goof-free
zone.
Except if you go on the back door.
that's
you know,
actually-
when I don't like them, I just replace them with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, that was funny too. Yeah.
Have some more cognac.
I don't understand why she disappeared. Like the courtroom scene when it cuts to Ron, like in the what's it called? Like in
In the gallery.
the gallery, and like he's sitting next to like presumably some other prostitute, the only other one that works for him now. Why isn't that Jerry Ryan? I didn't understand that at all.
She must have been
she
Tori's
probably got out of
replacement.
town.
Yeah, you think she bailed?
Skip town.
I mean, it was.
Skip town. Yeah,
There was a
she-
lot of
was on the
heat.
wall.
She probably
man.
came
Yeah.
home, saw Ron dead, said, "I gotta get the fuck out of here," and took off on the PCH.
Yeah.
Just
Turn left on Luciana, guy.
no, she just took it straight up.
That's a good favorite. So both
Straight
your
up
favorite.
to the Bay Area, and she's gonna reform and have like a more like sex positive.
Cult.
Yes.
Sex cult.
Sex cult. On
Sex
the beach.
cult.
Yeah.
Sex positive sex cult.
Sex positive. Sex
I
cult.
mean, she had
sex
sex
positive.
positive,
Sex
sex
cult.
She had progressive
Sex
views on
positive.
sex.
Sex cult.
She did.
Positive.
Yeah.
Sex cult. Sex positive. Sex cult.
So
Ooh.
Ron Ron was both of your favorite characters?
Well,
Or character?
Let me think again.
Scene stealer for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
like when he was
He was
wearing
really
that.
compelling. Like, when he was on the
yeah.
screen,
Right.
couldn't take my eyes off.
When he was like on the stand and they were accusing him of tax evasion, and he was like, "No," and then was like wearing a tie with like dollar bills on it, I was like, "That's real. That's
Like,
cream."
do I have to answer this
Really
question?
That's real good.
Yes.
Yeah. Do I have to answer this question? Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was, you know, the judge. That was a really nice moment.
That was a sassy judge. I like that judge.
I think my favorite character. I'm kind of torn because I kind of like her roommate because of like how
But this whole
useless
thing is her
she
roommate's
was.
fault.
Like when because it's absolute. The movie starts. It's her roommate. Her roommate and her roommate's friends are just like, let's play a goof on Joanna. Oh, here's an ad. My name's Joanna and I want to be a whore. Like I kind of like that. And I kind of like when she like sees her in the library and she's like. She's like going through her bag for some reason. She's like, "What's this?
Nelly.
A bunch of $50 bills. What's this? A bag of condoms. What's this? A book called How to Be a High-Priced Call Girl. What's this?" Like it's just kind of like, come on, get your shit together. I kind of like her.
No, I didn't like her. I was just
I didn't like her at
I'm like,
all.
She was pretty 90s.
All of a sudden, you want to be friends with Joanna now, or like now you're so concerned about Joanna.
She also sort of reminded me of Darlene from Roseanne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she wasn't a total like snobby jerk to Joanna.
No,
she was
I
just
mean,
it was
like,
actually cool.
yeah, she was like probably I don't know.
I
They
mean, I
weren't
guess
mean to Joanna, but like they just knew that Joanna did not enjoy being fucked with in any way.
like her friends were worse than Amanda, but like she was just, she just sucked.
I also really like the defense attorney because he obviously never went to law school. Like, you can't plead
He
innocent.
was
That's
very
not a.
sensitive
He yelled at her.
with her at first.
But weren't you
She
impressed
needed it.
when he started questioning Ron and then he brought up the tax evasion shit?
I was shocked when he actually
I
turned
thought
it
that
on.
was pretty good because
Yeah.
Ron's up there like, you know, Harvard Business School, I own all these businesses, and like, oh yes, one of them happens to be an escort service, and all it is that we provide companionship for lonely men who come to the city and don't know a soul. He makes it sound so wholesome, and everyone's just like, yeah, Ron, tell us more, and then he just like leans
Broke
into
him
him
down.
even more,
Yeah.
and then you're like, wait, I don't know. I just thought-
He did
I
surprisingly
thought he
turn
just,
into a good.
I thought he did a pretty good job.
He did
Yeah,
turn
he-
into a good defense. She gets off.
she got off.
She got
In
off.
more ways than one.
I don't know.
And I don't just mean at the Backdoor Bakery.
All right.
Well, somebody must have learned a life lesson from this movie.
I mean, high class call girling. At first, it's all glitz and glamour, but it's a slippery slope to one day you're showing up at a motel banging a guy that looks like Danny DeVito.
That's why the industry needs to be unionized.
Yes, precisely.
And legitimized.
Absolutely. And we can take this podcast down that road if we want to. But
Yeah.
Do you guys have
we
a
need to
union?
make sex work legal.
yes.
Destigmatize it.
Yeah.
Destigmatize it completely, 100%.
That's what Tori
No
Ryan was
shame.
trying to do.
That's
true.
That is what she was talking about the whole time. Like,
She
you're
was.
I think she's
talking.
going to become an activist, like for sex workers
I
in
hope
the
she
Bay Area. I
does.
think she's going to get woke in the Bay Area and like take
Well,
some. Take
Jerry
a few-
Ryan or Tori?
Jerry Ryan,
Mm.
because she left as soon
Yeah.
as she saw Ron dead. She's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And she took off.
Good
we
point.
know that that's what happened.
Can we also talk about the ending of the movie, which was very strange?
The ending was the rejoice of
So
the
they're walking. So
innocence.
she's walking out of the court.
We find you
room.
innocent.
So
Yeah.
she's walking out of the courthouse. She's arm in arm with her mom and with Jack.
Jack.
On the other side, they pass by Ron, and at first she like looks at him and she's like glaring at him, and he just has a big smile on his face. And
Well,
she,
it's a smirk that turns into a smile.
yes, and then she turns around and they're walking out, and then she turns back and she's like looking at him, and he's smiling at her, and then she. That's why at the end of the
ending was
movie,
really weird.
and
I
then
don't
it's
know
like
what
freeze
that is.
frame, and I was like, is there a co-ed call girl too?
That's why I was like, is this all an elaborate sex game between Tori Spelling and Ron? I think they've just been like in a relationship this whole time, and this is like all big elaborate foreplay.
I mean, it seems like they were setting it up for a sequel.
Co-ed Call Girl 2, Backdoor Bakery.
But it also seems like he was smiling.
Back to the back door.
Back to the back door.
Yeah.
There was a sequel.
Oh my god, can we write this movie?
I would love to.
Oh, let's write this movie.
I bet Tori Spelling needs work.
Yes.
Pregnant with like her 18th child.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, she and Dean
With
made
that
money.
Canadian that cheated on her
They're-
and then tried to host a game show.
I read in my I bought an Us Weekly for my plane ride out here, and they said
Whenever you buy those, aren't you just like, I can't believe I fucking bought this?
I know.
No, because you could look through it in 5 minutes
Mhm.
in the grocery store line. It's all pictures and captions. It takes like
I read it in about 5 minutes.
yeah, and you're just like this.
And
That seems like a really bad purchase for a plane ride.
It was like $3.
No, but I'm with you. Like, I totally want like gossip bullshit when I'm like traveling. But
Yeah.
then when I buy it, I'm like, there isn't enough in this to sustain me for any more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, which is why you would like end up buying like a couple of them, or I do
You
end
have
up
to buy
buying
a
a couple of
and then
them,
you cross-reference.
and then it's like $15. I've spent $15 on Gossip magazines.
No, there's no shit
Anyway.
to that. I'm
Anyway, in the
I'm
Us
on that
Weekly
for
or In Touch or whichever one it
Yeah.
was that I bought,
For
they said that
travel too.
she and Dean have just moved into a new rental house, and it's their 6th house in 4 years. Mm-hmm.
Everything I knew about Tori Spelling came from The Soup, which I miss dearly because they used to like make fun of her show
Yeah,
about how
that's a
she
good
was
show.
like doing anal with him and not
On, is it
necessarily.
on their reality show?
Yeah.
I never watched that. It seemed like
Oh, I never watched
really
that. Everything I knew
Oh,
about
and
it
then
was
there
from
was
The Soup,
something
which was great.
And then there was something about how she like put her hand down on like the hibachi at Benihana and like got like a burn or something. And I was like, why would you do that?
We've really gotten off topic. Our last regular segment. Recommend?
Oh sure,
Yeah,
yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah. Why not?
It was great.
yeah. I think
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I will
For all
say
you Tori Spelling fans out there, she was looking good.
I will say this.
Peak form.
Rocky, one of the things I really do miss. I mean, we don't do this podcast very often anymore, but I miss as much as I.
Are you gonna make this sentimental?
Maybe as much as I like recording these, I miss getting together with everybody. And Russ, you too. Even though this is the first podcast you've done with us, but you sat in on a bunch of these with us and then like left in a hurry.
Really good insight.
In a hurry,
Yes, he
but
does.
you've got great insights and you're very funny when we watch these. And I miss watching.
I mean, we're not gonna blow up your spot,
No.
but like you know,
I really,
that wonderful insight about married men and hookers.
absolutely. I really miss doing this as a group and watching these together because like there's jokes we have like during the movie that don't translate to like a podcast because they're like off the cuff during the movie and like I don't know I this is always like a fun thing for me, so I'm glad you're in town and that we were able to do this. And Russ, I'm really glad you actually sat in on the podcast with us. This was no one's ever going to hear it, so you know.
Jordan, shut the fuck up.
My pleasure.
Yeah, well, I second that. I'm very happy that you did. You enjoy your experience?
It was great. First podcasting experience.
Not a real podcast.
Shut up! Stop hating on our podcast.
Jules, you're out.
I'm done with this.
I guess that's a wrap then, right?
All right.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Okay.
Yeah, to
you
Scott
know-
Blank.
to Scott Plank.
To Scott
Oh,
Plank.
to
To Scott Plank. God rest his soul.
Oh my
That's
God,
what
we
it
love
sounds
you,
like.
Scott Plank.
But he was amazing.
Thank you so much for providing us with so much entertainment while you were with us. You were wonderful in this movie, Scott Plank, and you are my favorite character, no matter what Russ and Jordan say.
Until next time.
Yes, until next time of my
Play
lifetime.
that song again.
I will.
Play that
I
song.
will.
Play that song.
I had the time of my lifetime.